Okay, folks, look, we're going to kick off because the plan is that we want to finish up by 1:45, that you can get back and have some lunch. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Annabelle, and I'm one of the business development managers here at Smurfit Executive Development. We're delighted to have you join us for today's session, which is essentially a deep dive into the Diploma in Business and Executive Coaching. So just a little bit about us before we kick off. Here at Smurfit Executive Development, we deliver a suite of fully accredited part-time diplomas, allowing executives like yourselves to specialise in areas like strategy, corporate governance, coaching, AI and digital, just to name but a few. And these diplomas are stackable. So what I mean by that is if you do 3 diplomas with us, you can actually qualify with a master's and earn that full master's qualification. We also offer a suite of in-person blended short executive programs. Not everybody has the time to give to a diploma. So these are non-accredited and they're geared towards building practical knowledge, skills and mindsets that you can immediately apply back to your role and have impact. Smurfit Executive Development, as you probably know, is part of the UCD Michael Smurfit Graduate Business School, which is one of Ireland's top-ranked business schools, or it is Ireland's top-ranked business school, and we're ranked #1 for executive education by the Financial Times Global Rankings. And this is based on participant feedback, which means that if you attend one of our programs, you can expect a high-quality learning experience. So back to today's session, we'll be talking about the coaching program, which actually has been running since 2007. And our upcoming intake starting on March 18th is our 33rd intake of the program. We have over 400 alumni, so there's a huge alumni network there that if you join the program, you would become part of that as well. Today I'm joined by my colleagues Pamela and Eileen Duggan, who are lead faculty on this programme. And the lovely thing about it is Pam and Eileen were participants on this programme many years ago, so they can tell you from both sides what it's like to be a participant on this programme. So what you'll learn what to expect from the programme, the workload and commitment required, and then how the qualification will benefit your career afterwards. I'll come back at the end to take any questions, and I'll also talk to you about the application process and how this programme fits into our master's pathways. So if you would like to, if you have any questions, please put them into the Q&A. We might take them as we go along, or else we'll leave them at the end. We'll see how we go. And then, as I said, we'll finish up at 1:45. So with that, I'll hand you over now to Pam and Eileen.
Thank you, Annabelle. Eileen, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Lovely. Thanks, Pam. Thank you, Annabelle. So my name is Eileen Duggan, and I was on this programme many, many years ago, as Annabelle said, back in 2012. And this particular programme, it had a fundamental impact on me back then personally and in terms of my actual career direction. After I completed the program, I opened up my own, established my own executive coaching business, and I continued my training throughout over the last number of years. So currently at the moment, I am lead tutor on this particular program and have been part of the team since 2015. I'm also a trained practitioner in systemic coaching and constellations, and also a coach supervisor. So I think that's enough just for the moment as an introduction. And yeah, Pam, what about yourself?
Okay, so what do I want to say about myself? I think it's funny because we probably say more in this context than we do ever on the program. But I did this program in 2008, and when I did it, I realized I signed up for the program not knowing anything about coaching, actually. I thought I knew what coaching was, but once I did this program, I learned that coaching was something completely different. So it really opened my eyes to a whole other way of being. And since then, I've continued studying. So I went on and did the advanced, and then I went over to Ashridge in the UK and I did a master's, because at that time, we didn't have the master's pathway in UCD. And I qualified as a supervisor then too. And I've been involved in the program since about 2013, I think, and I've been a lead tutor since 2008. And I absolutely love the work that we do on the program. It takes a lot of energy to deliver it, but we really see people going through a whole personal and professional transformation as they complete the program. We get to know people very well over the 9 or 10 months that they're with us. So I think that's what keeps me coming back working in this way. In terms of my specialism, I suppose I am a gestaltist, which means that we'll talk a bit about it when we talk about the program, but it really means that part of my worldview is that I really try and understand different people's perspectives on their life and work. And that's what we encourage you to do in your coaching stance too. I think that's enough for now on me. Yeah.
Lovely. Thanks, Pam. So maybe would you like to give us a little bit of background with regard to the history and where the program, how it developed?
Yeah.
So
this program was designed originally by Peter Bluckert, who is a Gestalt coach, and he would have designed it in 2007. And since he designed and delivered it first, it's been taught by a number of different people over the years. So Jeff Pelham would have been very involved, Leslie Bluckert, Colin Murphy, Yvonne Fagan. So there's a lot of people who've been in our shoes before us, and we really honour them and the work that went before. And since Eileen and I have taken it on, we have kept the program true to Gestalt, but each time we run it, we update it based on the latest coaching research, based on trends in coaching, and based on our continued learning, because Eileen and I both do a lot of CPD and we do a lot of work throughout Europe on our practice. So we bring back those learnings to this program. And what I would say, just in terms of the history of it as well, is that at this present moment, we're doing a bigger review on the program. And so that'll be ready to go for cohort 33. So while staying true to the heart of Gestalt and the heart of the program, it has been significantly updated. And I don't know whether, do you want to talk a bit about the actual structure?
Yeah, so maybe a little bit about the structure again at a high level. So the program is run over 6 workshops, 14 days. And as Annabelle has said, it's approximately over a 10-month period. So as part of the program, full participation is required. So it is a very participative program, and this is why we look for everybody to attend all of the workshops. So it's the 6 workshops, and alongside the workshops, we have assignments. So the 6 assignments, 2 group assignments, and 4 individual assignments. The workshops at a high level, again, each one of them are designed with a different perspective to constantly build on your coaching skills. So from workshop 1 to 2 to 3, we're continuously adding additional skills at a pace that you can actually manage. The learning itself, the program is focused on practical and experiential focus. So we really try and link the theory and the knowledge to the actual practical aspect in the workshops themselves. But also there's a huge amount of learning that happens in between the workshops. And we also have a support network in place to support you as you're going through the program. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the support network while you're on the program. So from workshop 1, you're divided up into smaller groups, smaller learning groups. Maybe 4 or 5 would be in your group, and these groups would meet in between the workshops, maybe once a week for a half an hour. And the purpose of these learning groups is very much to support you with your reading, with your assignments, with your coaching, just general personal support as you're going through the program itself. We also have, along with Pam and I, we also have coach practice tutors who will be coming in for workshop 1, 2, 3, and 4 to support you when you're in smaller groups with live feedback on your actual coaching itself. And there also is supervision that we'd recommend while you're on the program, while you're going on the program. And Pam and I are obviously there to support you as well at all times. So would you like Pam to go into it in a little bit more detail?
Yeah. So when we were thinking about this, we were thinking about what would it be like, just to put ourselves in your shoes again. So as you come on the program, you'll find yourself joining us and a circle of chairs. You'll be coming into SEM 2, which is one of the rooms on the ground floor of Exec Ed. There'll be a circle of chairs. You'll be choosing a chair to sit in. There'll probably be about 20 of you in the group, roughly 18 to 20 or 22, and Eileen and I. And before you come to each workshop, about 2 weeks beforehand, you'll get a thing called a study guide. And in that study guide, you'll see the detailed agenda for the 2 days. And you'll also get recommended readings and podcasts about, I would say, about a day or 2 days work. There's a good bit of work in it, because it is a level 9 diploma. And we really need you to do that prep work before you join us. Because when you come to join us on those 2 days, we'll typically start off with a bit of theory for an hour. We might have a bit of a discussion, but then it is practice, practice, practice. You'll see Eileen and I coach. You'll be coaching in pairs, in threes, in small groups, and you'll have observed coach practice. So we really want you to use the time when you're in Smurfit to practice, so that when you go out to do your 90 hours coaching, which you need to do as part of the program, you feel resourced to do that. So when we look at the feedback from prior attendees, they just say what makes this program different is that practice. It's so experiential. You're coaching from day one. And then you'll be with us. We've a lovely space. We've breakout rooms. We've lovely food on campus, nice coffee, lovely spaces for walks. And as Eileen said, you'll have your own individual journey. You'll be part of a learning group. And then we'll finish, say, after 2 or 3 days, depending on the workshop. And you go off for about 6 weeks to practice doing your coaching hours. You'll probably have an assignment to do. You'll get your study guide for the next workshop, and then you come and join us again. Eileen and I are always available to you via email or phone should you need us. And also your learning group is your primary resource. And the last thing I'll say before handing back to you, Eileen, I think is really when we look at what makes our program different. And we looked at this about 2 years ago to kind of look at all the other coaching offerings that are out there in the marketplace, both in Ireland and overseas. We are really interested in how people understand the world. So that Gestalt grounding, the psychological lens, and by that we mean we really try to understand you as a participant and get to know you very well, how you see the world, and also how you make meaning of the world around you, so that you can go and coach, and again, coach in that with that psychological depth with your clients. So the last thing I'll say is we do get to know you well, you get to know us well, and I think you will make some of the best friends that you have on this program as well. So people often, as you're learning with each other, you get to know each other in a different way than in any other space. So it's a lovely space to be in. So I think that's what some of the things that make us different in terms of this program versus other programs out there.
Can I also add, Pam, just as you're talking there, and again, it's with regard to what differentiates us. I think there's the two, to me, I often think it's the two angles. The first, exactly what you said, the psychological dimension. Yeah. So that we really focus on supporting our participants to work at a deeper level when they're actually coaching. And this supports them to work at a deeper level, again, with their clients. And in order for them to really be able to work at this level, there's a lot of personal work that I think is people aren't really aware of initially. As you said, people sign up for coaching as it being more of a transactional skill, and they're pleasantly surprised when they realize the amount of personal work that you do alongside the actual practical skill itself. And I think when people finish that, they're really surprised at their own journey and how much they have changed as a person from the program. And I think the second part is the emphasis on the practical aspect of the coaching skill. So, you know, our program, we really put a huge emphasis on absolutely the rigor of the academic theory, but also the practical, because it is a skill. And we really believe that in order for you to develop the skill, it has to be in the practice, not necessarily in the reading or the theory. So we focus a lot of our time on really supporting you in small groups, being coached. There's no role play. It's all real life situations that you're dealing with. And also for you coaching your participants with feedback from tutors in very small groups. There's also the 90 hours, which you've mentioned as well, which I know a lot of people come and say, how on earth can we fit in the 90 hours pro bono coaching? Where do we get our clients from? So these are all questions that we will really go into in a lot of depth in workshop 1. So by the end of workshop 1, you are out there, you're coaching, and you have a roadmap as to how you're actually going to undertake the coaching between workshop 1 and workshop 2. And as I said, it's done in a very step-by-step process. But I certainly think that they're, you know, 2 of the main areas that differentiates this program. It is face-to-face, which is wonderful still in the world that we're living in, the psychological dimension and the actual practical skill of, at the end of the 10 months, you really feel you can step into the shoes and coach and have the capabilities and confidence to be coaching at whatever level.
Do you think it'd be worthwhile for us to touch on the assignments, or will we leave that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll do that.
So will I jump in on that?
Yeah,
so
work away.
I'm just looking at my notes, that the notes we made the other day. And one thing is that we do require full attendance. So if you're signing up for the program, you do need to be present for all 14 days, purely because we do so much work in those 14 days that if you miss a day, you miss a whole chunk of work and a lot of experience. So it's really important that if you're signing up, that you're able to make all those days. So assignments. The first assignment is a short theoretical assignment. So we invite you to compare and contrast 2 coaching models. It's 2,000 words, and that is submitted at workshop 2. That's an individual assignment. The next assignment is a book review, which is a group assignment. And again, the purpose of that is to get you reading the coaching books as well. And it's 4,000 words. And again, you submit that in workshop 3. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in any of these, Eileen. Then the next assignment is a recording where you take a 10-minute segment from one of your coaching sessions and you submit that 10-minute audio recording with a transcript with a bit of analysis. And again, that's to get you recording and listening back to yourself as you're coaching. So there's great learning in that. Then the last assignment there is, well, before we get to all the practice work, is a reflective assignment where we ask you to choose an area from the coaching psychology, and we give you loads of examples of that. And we, from morning 1, you'll be journaling. So we invite you to reflect on your own coaching practice against that reflective lens, that psychological lens, and you submit that at workshop 6. And as well as that, there's a big chunk of work that has to be done, which is the 90 hours coaching. Truly, though, by the time you finish this program, you are qualified to coach anybody because you've done the practice. A lot of programs do not have this rigor in terms of the 90 hours coaching, but at the end of it, even though it does take a lot of work, and there's no doubt, you will be fully qualified to do that and to step into any organization and coach. You also need to do a piece of work around EMCC competencies. So the EMCC is one of the coaching bodies that we are aligned with and accredited by. And there's a competency piece, a competency framework that you need to complete for that. And also, last but not least, there's a group presentation or workshop 6, which again, we invite your group to tell the story of your learning and your journey together over the 9 or 10 months. So I think that's the assignments.
Lovely, lovely. And maybe just I might touch on each one of the workshops and give a sense of what we cover. Yeah. So workshop 1, as I said, it's all about getting started. So we focus on introducing you, forming the group participants, enabling you to get to know everybody in the room, getting to know ourselves, and focusing on what coaching is and what coaching isn't. You're straight into the actual coaching skill itself after workshop 1, and we focus on getting you up and running, getting you started. Workshop 2 builds on that. Workshop 2 goes a little bit deeper. After workshop 1, you're arriving into workshop 2, you've roughly about 10-15 hours of coaching under your belt. And you're coming back saying you're looking for something a little bit more. You've already used a framework. So workshop 2 is going a little bit deeper and giving you the skills to start working at a psychological dimension, psychological level. Workshop 3, you've roughly about 25 hours done. And we focus on a creative approach. So at this stage, this is about supporting your clients access information that you may not have been able to get just in a dialogue, in a conversation, using a framework. And this is a particular workshop, I think, that a lot of people enjoy because it's really supporting you to look outside of the box and work in different ways. And it's a very playful workshop. We then go into workshop 4, which is very much around Gestalt, and Pam will have spoken about it. And this is the foundation of the whole program, is held on the Gestalt approach. So we really we dive a little deeper in workshop 4 to give you the skills, the principles of working with the Gestalt approach. Workshop 5, at this stage, we're beginning to support you to zoom out a little bit and look at the system. So not alone are you coaching the individual, but we're supporting you to look beyond the individual, look to see the systems that they're involved in and how that might impact the work that you're doing with your client. And then workshop 6, again, we look at another school of psychology, and we also begin looking at endings, which can be a very interesting subject for us all, but again, a very important subject as a coach to be able to deal with endings. So they're the 6 workshops. And again, as Pam said, you also will have roughly about 6 to 8 weeks after workshop 6 to submit your 90 hours coaching and the very last assignment. So it is over a 10-month period, all in all. Anything else, Pam, do you feel that we have just with relation to the program? I'm trying to think, what are the questions? I think the work commitment, the workload is one question that a lot of people are curious about after hearing the workshops and the assignments and the coaching. And we generally in the past, I think we've done research, and we would, as a benchmark, we would guide the participants to put aside 1 day a week while you're on the program. This would include your 14 days workshop attendance. It would also include all of the pre-readings, the post-readings, the podcasts, the assignments, your learning group meetings, the pro bono coaching. So all of it, all in all. And a lot of people feel, wow, that's a big commitment. Yes. But I think the point that you were saying, which makes us different, is that at the end of the program, it's a skill that you have. You've kind of learnt it in your muscles. It's not theory. It's not academic. There's very little PowerPoint downloading information. We really focus to enable you to be able to confidently and competently coach at a skill, whatever level, at the end of the program. So it is going to involve commitment from the participants' side.
Do you know what's with me, Eileen? The reason I'm smiling at you there is that I'm just going back to January to our workshop 6 with our last cohort. And you remember kind of looking around the room, and one of the participants said, I'm showing up differently. I feel like I am a coach now.
Yes.
You know, and there's a real feeling by the time we get to workshop 6 that we are all coaches together. They're no longer coaches in training, they're coaches. And that there's a real felt sense of that by the time we get to workshop 6. So it is a big journey. There's a big time commitment. And I think the one thing I would say when I talk to people about the program is that you need your support system around you. So if there's partner or family involved, they need to be on board too, because you will have Saturday mornings when you're writing assignments, or Friday evenings when you're reading instead of going out for a pint, or you know what I mean. There is commitment to it, but it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just see a question there. Somebody is asking with regard to the type of people, and is it suitable for coaches already out there coaching? So do you want to talk to that, Pam, a little?
Yeah, of course. So a lot of people who come to the program are qualified coaches, but they may have done their training a long time ago. So they are coming to the program both to get a refresh on the training, or maybe to get this particular Gestalt training, and to become accredited as a coach. So please, if it's something that you're thinking about, come and have a call with Eileen or I, and we can discuss it in more detail. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think the lovely, what I experienced certainly from the program is the diversity about the participants coming on the program. So, you know, if we were to, this is probably, maybe there'd be roughly four groups of people that would generally come on the program. You'd have maybe HR directors, OD consultants looking to bring coaching into their organization. You may have leaders or managers looking to invest in their own skill and knowledge and coaching in order to expand their own leadership style, realizing the importance of coaching nowadays. And we'd also have executives that possibly are looking to branch off, maybe take early retirement, or just go on a different career path. And they use the time on the program to figure that out for themselves, along with getting the additional skill. And then the other group probably is just who you've touched on, is coaches already in the marketplace that are out there coaching, but feel as if that they're looking for potentially maybe something, maybe a different approach or a different skill set, a different focus. And the last thing I would say, and I think, Pam, you mentioned it as well, is with regard to the network. Huge learning happens in the room. So it's not necessarily Pam and I that you're getting all the learning from. It's huge amount of cross learning through participants. So even as coaches out there in the marketplace, there's a huge amount of learning from within the participants within the room itself.
Yeah, exactly. And there's another small cohort that come, that it does, people who are moving back to Ireland.
Yes.
Or, you know, maybe based in London at the moment and coming back, or based in the Netherlands or in France, you know, or who may be coming back in a couple of years and want to build their Irish network a bit too, you know. So we often have Irish people based abroad, who are thinking of moving home, as it were. Yeah. So we bring Annabelle back in, maybe, and see if there's any questions arising that we can all answer, or where to take it from here.
Yes, so one of the questions that came up there is, do you help get people placed post-course? Do you advise on how they set up their own business and get going really with their qualification?
It's not a huge focus of the course, being honest. But we do touch on it, and there are other resources afterwards that we can direct the gentleman to, that, you know, around that business of coaching. But it's not our primary focus, but we do touch on it in workshop 6. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, I have a question that I know I'm asked quite a bit, Pam and Eileen, that maybe one of you would like to answer on is, so you have the program cost, but then there is that small piece about coaching supervision, that it is optional and it is an extra cost. And I'm just wondering, would it be worthwhile just to touch on that, because it is something that comes up quite a lot.
Of course, yeah. So, so I'll just say, as a practicing coach, so I've been coaching for, I don't know how many years now, 16, 17. One of my ethical responsibilities is to be in supervision. So I need to be in supervision to maintain my accreditation and to keep my practice ethical and sound. And so on the program, we provide peer group supervision from workshop 2 to workshop 5. But if you are thinking of coming on the program and you're thinking about becoming a practicing coach afterwards, we also have a panel of supervisors that you can choose who you want to work with on that for supervision. And what you do is you meet maybe 1 or 2 of them, have a chemistry meeting, and you do 3 90-minute sessions with one of the supervisors over the course of the program. The cost is €180 per session, so 540 overall. And when you go to apply for your accreditation, it means that the 90 hours of coaching that you've done has been officially supervised. So it's optional, because not everybody coming on the program wants to become a fully accredited coach. Some people are doing the program for their own personal development or to become accredited at a later time. But we will talk about it a lot more in workshop 1, but we would strongly recommend, if it is in your plan to become a practicing coach, that you do the individual supervision. So that's there. And there's a very experienced panel of supervisors.
Yeah, great. And if it's okay, I might just pop up the slides again and go through, as I said, the application process. So you can see those slides there, can you, Pam and Eileen?
Not yet.
Yes.
Sorry, 1 second now.
Okay.
They're coming up now.
Yeah.
We can see the slides, we can see it all, we can see the notes as well, or the, yeah.
Sorry, just give me 1 second now.
Don't worry.
Of course.
I might just, when you're saying that, Annabelle, pick up from Pam just with regard to the program itself is accredited with the EMCC at senior practitioner level. But on completion, for those that want to get individual accreditation, there is a fast track process. So once you've actually gone on the program, at the very end, you can complete a form, a fairly straightforward form, because you'll have done a lot of the requirements by attending the program. And there's a fast track to get your individual accreditation with the EMCC. Yeah, that's it.
Perfect.
Well done. Perfect.
Yeah, so Pam and Eileen did touch on the modules. So there's 6 modules, it's 14 days, and these are the dates, 100% attendance at all of them. And what they did touch on is, yes, it starts in March the 18th and runs until December, but you are given time at the end of the program to submit your 90 hours pro bono coaching and that final assignment. So really what we would recommend people is that, you know, almost assign 1 year to this program to make sure that you know, everyone involved in your decision knows the commitment, and it just gives you that time at the end then to get everything through. I'm often asked about what does the application process look like. So I always have a pre-program call with everybody that's interested, just to go through exactly what Pam and Eileen have covered today, the commitment and the workload involved. Also, you know, just to make sure that it's the right fit for you, that it is going to meet your expectations. If all the program dates then suit your diary and you're happy that you do have the time to commit, we then look at the application form. So I send you a link to the online application form. As part of that, there's a supporting documentation that's involved. So your academic qualification transcript, level 8 or above, and then your ID, so passport or driver's license. In some cases, some people don't have a previous qualification. And what we do there is we ask you for a career portfolio form, which essentially asks you to document your management experience to date. And that's submitted along with your CV. And so what we do then is we bring that to the University Admissions Board, which meets once a month, and they approve it. Once approved, then I offer you the place on the program and you ideally accept it. Then we raise the invoice and you pay the fees. I'm often asked about fees then. We break it down into 4 installments, but in some cases, you know, if people are being supported by their organizations, they might want to do it in a particular way, like 50%, or they want to pay it in full. We will work with you on that. And in other cases, maybe people are self-funding and they would like a personal payment plan, and we're happy to work with you on that as well. And then once you've paid your first installment, we then send you the pre-program material. So there's a couple of readings that you have to do before you start the program. And it really is to get you in on the topic and kind of know what you're going to cover then in your first module. I did mention that in executive development, we have this option to stack your diplomas. So you can do 3 diplomas with us to get an MSc. And the lovely thing about this diploma in business and executive coaching is it is on 2 of our different master's pathways. I have them here. So you have one that's focused a lot on coaching. So if coaching is the space you want to be in and it's where you're working in or would like to work in, a lot of people will go for that coaching pathway, a master's pathway. So you have the first coaching diploma and then you do another coaching, or you can do the 2. So advanced coaching, team coaching, or if you'd like to just do 2 coaching diplomas, and you might look at organizational change and or the leadership development one. The other pathway then is if you like a more variety to choose from, we have a MSc in business leadership management practice, and on that you can do your coaching diploma, but then you can look at areas like AI, strategy, corporate governance. There's just a lot more options on it, and it's a broader qualification. So there are 2 pathways. And look, in some cases, some people come and they do one and they have enough to go away then and set up their coaching practice. And then they might think about it for a while, that maybe there's a lot of demand from organizations that they would like team coaching, and you decide then you'd like to come back and maybe do that diploma with us. So as we said, the next intake is the 18th of March. I do have a few places left. I see a few people on the webinar today that have either already applied, who are in the process of applying, and then others who I have been talking to. So look, please reach out. Once the program is full, I will close it out and start a waiting list. So these are my contact details. Please do get in touch. And as Pam and Eileen said, we're all here to have a call with you if you really want to make sure it is the right decision for you and the right time for you. If the March intake is not an option or the dates don't suit your diary, we do run this again every autumn. So that's another option as well. So that's it for today, folks. If there's no more questions, I will let you back to have your lunch. And thank you so much for coming on today. Actually, sorry, I just see one there. Oh, Pam and Eileen, I might let you take this. So with individual supervision, is this based on the pro bono work you will be doing?
Yes,
Yes.
It's to oversee the 90 hours coaching. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Brilliant. Great. Well, look, thank you so much, Pam and Eileen, and to everybody who's joined the call today, and to my colleagues in the background who are on hand if I need them. And I wish everyone a lovely day, and please do get in touch. This is being recorded, so I will send the recording along with other information, and you'll have my contact details there then if you'd like to get in touch. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Annabelle. Thanks, everyone.
Have a lovely day. Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye-bye.